guys, it's me. Sorry I didn't record on Sunday, but I thought I had a pink eye, so just wanted to come in and follow up with you all. I know I started the water challenge last week. I followed up with you all, and some of you said that you fell off, that you weren't successful, etc. And totally okay, it happens. But when you're talking about losing weight, you have to stick to your plan. So if you fail, it's okay. Just pick yourself back up and keep on trying. But having her as the foundation of any diet or any type of physical training is necessary. Now, on Sunday, I posted a video about macros and told you all that you need to go out and buy your scales, your plates, whatever you're going to need to start planning your meal prepping, which will be the topic we're going into next week. But we're just going to go back over macros. If you did not watch the video that I posted this past Sunday, I think I labeled it like week 2. You really need to watch that video if you're not familiar with macros or how to count your macros. So following up on macronutrients. Macronutrients, there's so many macronutrients, but there are 3 main macronutrients consumed by humans, which are proteins, fats, and carbs. And just in my personal opinion, most of us really get into the carbs heavy. So when you're talking about losing weight, you're going to have to cut back on those. And if you remember my big spiel about sugar, carbs basically equals sugar, okay? So, macronutrients. There are a couple of websites that I want to recommend to you to get a better understanding, which will actually calculate your macros for you until you learn your own formulas. I'm not going to lie, I've done the formulas in different ways. There's no one way to do it. There's different types of formulas by different scientists and biologists, but all you need is like a estimated number. So if you go to tdeecalculator.com, I think that's probably the best one that I personally like. There are other ones, I believe iifym.com also has one. Of course, bodybuilding.com has one, but basically it's going to ask you your age, height, weight, and if you know your body fat percentage, but most of us don't, so I wouldn't even use that because again, this is just an estimate. So then it's going to calculate your BMR, or also known as REE. Okay, that's your resting energy expenditure. So that's your base foundation. Your REE is basically what your body needs, how many calories your body needs if you didn't do any physical activity just to survive. So for me, I'm 5'6", and I'm not going to tell you all my weight and my age. That's none of your business right now, okay? But it's basically saying that I need about 1450 calories just to keep my body alive, right? So after you know your REE, then it's going to ask you, hey, what's your activity level? Now listen to me very carefully. I'm not trying to insult anybody out here. But if you want a real goal, and your goal is to lose weight, you have to be totally honest with yourself. So after you have your RE, it's going to say, hey, what do you think your activity is? You have sedentary, which means you absolutely do nothing but get up and go to work. You have low, which is basically, you walk to your car, you walk to work or whatever. Moderate, active, and highly active. Understand whichever one you choose is going to adjust your calorie intake. So just because you go to the gym 5 days a week, if you just go in there and walk on a treadmill, that is not active or very active. If you're going to use active or very active, please understand that means you are getting after it. You're working construction, or you're in the gym 2 or 3 times, you're lifting weights, you're out of breath, that type of thing. So even for me right now, I'm on my off season. I wouldn't use active or very active. I probably use moderate. And if I'm using moderate, more than likely the average person is going to be like low. So start with that. So then after you do that, it's going to calculate your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. So remember, REE is your body just resting. I was at 1465. If I didn't do anything, I just laid in bed all day. That's how many calories I need. But if I do my TDEE and I'm on low maintenance or whatever, it's probably going to give me somewhere around probably 19 through 2100 calories, something like that. Okay, so we see it's a big difference in between that. So when you're talking about losing weight, obviously there's going to be a calorie deficit. So what the calculator does is it's going to subtract a percentage. So the website I recommended to you, which was tdee.com, that one specifically, it automatically gives you a 500 calorie deficit. I know this sounds weird, but it's best if you just get on the internet, go to the website and punch in your information. And if you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comment box and I'll readdress it. So moving on, we've calculated our BMR, we know our TDEE, and for me, like I said, it's probably going to be about 2100. So after it tells me my caloric deficit, which is on this specific website, 500, 2100 minus 500, you do the math, 1600, something like that. So 1600 calories just to maintain my current weight. That's an example, just to maintain my current weight. So if you look at the bottom of that page, it's going to say maintenance, fat loss or losing weight, and then bulking. So to maintain my current weight, I would click on maintenance. To lose weight, I'm going to click on cutting. And if I wanted to add weight, I would click on bulking. So we're going to go with cutting. All right. So you're going to click on that button. It's going to give you 3 different options. Okay. So it's going to say, hey, in order for me to lose weight, I need to go from 2100 calories to 1600 calories. And it's going to give me 3 different options. All of them are based on carb intake and protein intake. So if you're trying to lose weight, in my opinion, you can do whatever you want. Either way, you're still going to end up having 1600 calories. I tend to go with a plan that's moderate because I do like to eat cereal. And if you know anything about cereal, in a 3/4 of a cup is 120 carbs. So I don't like high carbs because I tend to gain a lot of weight in my thighs and in my glute area. So I'm not going to pick the plan that has a lot of carbs. And then I'm not going to pick the plan that has like almost non-existent carbs. I'm going to pick something that's easily obtainable for me. So I probably would pick the moderate plan. So once you have that plan, you're like, hey, this is great. I know my BMR. I know my TDEE. I know how many calories I'm supposed to take in. Now what do I do? Hold on. Now that you know how many calories you need, you're probably like, hey, this is all great information and I'm motivated now. I know that I need to drop 300 to 500 calories, whatever, but I don't know how to make my meal plans. Can you make me a meal plan? That's going to be your next question. No, I can't because, honestly, I don't get paid enough to do everybody's meal plan that inboxes me. But you can plan your own meals. You can go to a website. It's called eatthismuch.com. And they'll plan the meals for you based on the information that you input. So it's going to ask you how many calories are you trying to eat and over how many meals a day. So I might put in, for me, I like to eat 5 to 6 meals. So I put in, hey, I'm going to do 1600 calories over 6 meals. It's going to automatically populate your meals for you. Based on what you wanted. The only thing with that is, even with meal planning, remember I told you everything's an estimation. So some formulas say, hey, you need 30% protein, 30% fats, and the rest carbs. Or some might say 40, 30, 30. There's so many different formulas, so go with what works best for you. When you're meal prepping, if you're using eatthismuch.com, which I totally recommend if you don't know how to count calories yet, substitute things. Like a lot of times it'll give me like cottage cheese or something. I don't eat that. So versus just saying, hey, I'm screw this, I look at what cottage cheese has in it and I find a way to make up those exact same calories. So I may do yogurt and add some fruit or not add some fruit. So in this weight loss plan, you have to set realistic goals. And that doesn't mean that, hey, if I'm on a diet that I'm just going to strictly eat the same thing all the time. I'm not going to enjoy my life or whatever. That's not fun in the fitness world, because some of us have competitions, whether it's running or fitness competitions or bodybuilding or whatever. We have specific goals that we have to maintain, but that doesn't mean that we're not human beings. So if you're trying to make fitness a long-term goal, so you have to be realistic. And what I mean by that is offer yourself a cheat meal. If you've been successful for 5 days without making a mistake, on the weekend, have a cheat meal. Reward yourself, because that'll give you motivation to keep going. But don't overindulge. And then further along, we'll get into some cheat meals that will satisfy your cravings and whatnot, especially people like me that love chocolate and sugar. So websites, I just want to readdress tdee.com, IIFMY, bodybuilding.com. These are just the macro calculators, or you can Google it, and eatthis.com for your food planning or whatever. So continue to do your research. If you have any questions, definitely drop them in the comments section and I will get back with you. Next topic is going to be meal prep. See you guys later.